Gibraltar is full of hidden gems that add colour and life to our identity. The Heritage Trust is hoping to bring some of these to light. In the case of these tiles, most are hidden in portones or patios, some are in plain sight, but so much a part of our lives that we may have stopped seeing them.
Well, it's something we've always been wanting to do for a long time. At the Trust, we're always looking for ways to encourage people to value what they have around them, particularly the architectural heritage. And the idea of doing something inspired by our entranceway tiles was something on our bucket list.
So I did a talk last year talking about the changing face of architecture in Gibraltar and observing how a lot of the new buildings that have been created were not necessarily keeping with the architectural style that is very present in the old town of Gibraltar. So off the back of this talk, Claire from the Heritage Trust approached me because she had a thought for a while to do something with the tiles of Gibraltar. The tiles themselves are quite varied. They come from very different periods and very much reflect our multicultural history. And one of the issues that the Trust was finding was they're finding it very hard to convince people when they were doing restorations of old buildings to retain the tiles.
As we move towards cleaner, more minimalist architecture and decor, the Heritage Trust believes there's an increasing appreciation for the craftsmanship and uniqueness of these features. Today, it's tiles, but there's so much more to explore.
There's all sorts of things from stained glass to timber carvings on handrails, wrought iron, balconies and balustrades. And really they're the little things that often get lost when a building is being restored or reviewed. Sometimes these things are in quite bad condition and it takes a little bit more effort to bring them back to life. And we're trying to encourage people to do that because through the planning process, I think we're a lot better now at controlling what happens on the larger scale with buildings, but it's the finer details that get lost. So fireplaces, internal flooring, that kind of thing, that we really think people need to realise that they are beautiful, they are valuable, and they're worth keeping and putting that little bit of effort into looking after them for the next generation.
The artwork focuses on tiles from buildings in Parliament Lane, Irish Town and Main Street.
Parliament Lane very much has a lot of that very Arabic style bell curve that you see in a lot of Arabic architecture, especially around Spain. And some of the tiles, for example, in the cathedral are also a little bit Arabic in their style because of their, the geometric form of the pattern of the tile design. So we wanted to sort of, explore these different tile designs. At the moment, we don't have a lot of research as to what tile came from what period. We just know they were created at different stages in Gibraltar. We're also told that there used to be a tile factory here in Gibraltar on Devil's Tower Road. So for us, I think that would be the next step in terms of, finding out a little bit more about where these tiles come from and, what can we date them to what periods. I sat down with Claire. We looked at, okay, what tiles do we think could work quite well for this series? The cathedral is one that's very recognized, I think, by the general public. So that was one we definitely wanted to include, and it has that amazing vibrant blue, which I think really adds a pop of color. So from there, we started to decide on the tiles themselves, and then I drew them by hand. So a lot of my artistic process involves myself drawing and painting. So I sat down and actually they were quite hard to do because when you do tile designs on the 45-degree angle, on the 90, on the 180, the tile needs to be perfectly symmetrical. So some of them were quite challenging to draw, especially the cathedral. But yeah, really, really great challenge, and I'm really happy with how the final result came out.
The coasters and placemats are available in sets of 4. There is also a set of glass magnets. They're available at the Heritage Trust shop in John Mackintosh Square, with all proceeds going towards the Trust's work to protect and promote Gibraltar's heritage. And this is only the beginning, with the Trust having other plans to bring heritage into our everyday lives.